Good morning. Welcome to math video number 7. Today we're going to be learning about SOL 4.9. It says the student will determine elapsed time in hours and minutes within a 12-hour period. I do want to make a special note here that SOL 4.9 is not covered in your Math Plus Red course. So that means that in your daily lessons in the online school this year, you will not be covering this topic. So this video is very important that you pay attention to it and maybe view it more than once and practice the skill several times so you can make sure that you're prepared for the Math SOL in the spring, because this is a Virginia standard and it will be on the test. Okay? So today, as we're learning about this, we're going to be using real-world problems. And there's going to be 3 different types. One, it's going to ask you to find the elapsed time. So for example, how long was the girl gone? Or how long did the movie last? Another type would be finding the starting time. When did the movie start? When did the girl leave? That kind of thing. And then finally, another type is finding the ending time. So when did the girl come home? When did the movie end? That type of thing. So we're going to be practicing all 3. So you have your worksheet in front of you and you're going to follow along with me for all 3 sample problems. And I really want you to follow along and do everything that I do onto your paper. And then you're going to have an opportunity to show what you know on page 2 of that worksheet. So we are going to be learning about the mountain strategy. Now this is a strategy that I have just learned about within the past few years, and this has really helped me, even as an adult, be able to solve these types of problems correctly and consistently getting the correct answer. These are kind of tricky because you can't just use straight addition and subtraction when solving these kind of problems. It does not work all the time. So this strategy does work all the time, and it works for all 3 types of problems if you're finding the elapsed time, the beginning time, or the ending time. Now this might be brand new to you, and I'm curious if it might be brand new to your parents as well, so you might want to watch this video with them so you guys can learn it together. That way you guys can be practicing this skill throughout the year. So for the mountain strategy, we are going to be making mountains, and the mountains represent 1 hour. So they're pointy at the top, just like you see here. And then over here, we're also going to make rocks, and those represent 1 minute, and they're just little tiny bumps. So mountains are 1 hour, rocks are 1 minute. Now hills in the middle, you could choose what time increment that you want to use. I typically do 10 minutes, 10-minute increments, and then sometimes use 5-minute increments. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to go about this. So let's start with one where it's asking you to find the elapsed time. I really want you to pay attention to the coloring of the words. So elapsed time, I have color coded with blue. The beginning time I color coded with green, like in a stoplight, green means go, that's the beginning. And then the ending time I color coded with red, like in a stoplight, red means stop, right? So hopefully that will help us kind of wrap our head around these kind of problems, because each problem will have all 3 of these things: the elapsed time, the beginning time, the ending time, and then you're going to be asked to find one of those because one will be missing. So in this problem, the elapsed time is missing. It says, Greg was dropped off at the movies at 4:40 p.m. and his mom picked him up at the theater at 7:37 p.m. How long was Greg at the theater? So this is asking the elapsed time. How long was he gone? Okay, so the first thing I want us to always create is a timeline. So on your paper in front of you, it's already created. So you have a timeline, and then you're going to make a little box for your starting time, and then you're going to make a little box for your ending time, and then you're going to make a little box for your elapsed time. Okay, so like I said, all three will be represented in this problem. One of them's missing, and that's the one that you have to find. So for this one, we know the beginning time because he got dropped off at 4:40 and he got picked up at 7:37. So we're going to put those numbers in the, let's see here, there we go. We're going to put those numbers in our boxes. So the starting time, and you do this on your paper too, is 4:40. And the ending time is 7:37. And we need to find the elapsed time. This is the part that we don't know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is make a landscape with our mountains, hills, and rocks all the way from the starting time to the ending time. So I'm always going to start with mountains. So I'm going to draw 1 hour. Okay, I'm going to put a 1 for 1 hour, and then I'm going to write the new time. So I started at 4:40, I'm going to add 1 hour, so now it's 5:40. Okay, and you need to write the time right underneath where your line ends, right here. Okay, so now I'm going to make another mountain. I was at 5:40, now I'm going to 6:40. I'm adding 1 hour each time. Okay, now I'm going to come back over here and look at our ending time. If I added 1 more hour, I would go to 7:40, and that's past this. So we don't want to go past it. So now I'm going to switch to hills, and I'm going to do 10 minutes. So 10. So now I'm just going to add 10 minutes. So it was 6:40, now I'm going to write 6:50. Add 10 more, it was 6:50, now I'm going to write 7 o'clock. Add another 10 minutes. It was 7 o'clock, now I'm going to make it 7:10. Add 10 more minutes. It was 7:10, now it's going to be 7:20. 10 more minutes would be 7:30. Okay, now I can't do 10 more minutes again because again it would go past. It would be 7:40. We don't want to go past it, so I'm going to switch to a 5-minute hill. That would be 7:35. Sometimes it gets squishy like this at the end. So now I just need 2 rocks at the end to get those 2 final minutes. So 1 minute and it goes to 7:36. Squeeze it in there. And 1 more minute would get me to that 7:37. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to erase this question mark and I'm going to start counting what I've written. So I have 2 mountains, so that means 2 hours. 2 hours. And now I'm going to count my hills and my rocks. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57. 2 hours and 57 minutes. So that is how long Greg was at the theater. So now remember, you can always rewind this if you didn't catch it or if you don't fully understand what I did. Rewind this video. That's the beauty of having a math video. You can do it at your pace and watch it as many times as you need. Okay, let's try the next one. It says this one we're going to find the starting time. Okay, so our problem says Harry finished repairing his shower at 7:29. So he finished repairing his shower at 7:29. That sounds like a keyword. I'm going to underline it. He began 3 hours and 45 minutes earlier. What time did Harry begin the job? Okay, so that's our question. We need to find the starting time. So we know that he finished his repair job at 7:29. We don't know what time he started, but we do know that he began 3 hours and 45 minutes earlier. So that is how long it took him. 3 hours. Can you guess how many mountains we're going to be creating? And 45 minutes. That's how long it took him. Okay, now this time we're going to start down here at the ending time. And we're going to go backwards on our timeline all the way to the starting time, okay? So we're going to make our first mountain. Now I'm going to be subtracting these hours. So it was 7:29, now it's 6:29. So I'm going backwards in time. Okay, let's do another mountain. And I'm going to write 5:29. And I need one more mountain because there's 3 hours. I kind of make these skinny because I usually run out of space on my timeline when I make them too big. So now subtracting one more hour gets me to 4:29. Okay, so we've done the 3 hours. Now we need to do the 45 minutes. So I'm going to subtract 10 minutes at a time at the beginning. So 10 minutes. So I was 4:29. Now I'm going to go to 4:19. 10 more minutes. I was 4:19. Subtracting 10, it would be 4:09. 10 more minutes. Okay, so now this one I'm going to be passing the 12-minute hand at the top, or the 12 at the top. So I'm going to go to 3:59 to subtract that 10 minutes. So if I subtracted 9 minutes, it'd be 4 o'clock, and 1 extra minute, it would be 3:59. And then I'm needing 45 minutes. So far I've subtracted 10, 20, 30, 40. So I was 3:59. Now I'm going to 3:49. Okay, so now I need 5 more minutes because it's 45. So let's go here. 5 more minutes, subtracting 5 minutes off of that, it would be 3:44. Okay, so we can erase this question mark now, and we can write in that our starting time was 3:44, and that would be p.m. Okay, very good. Now again, if you need to watch that again, just rewind it a little bit and review that. Okay, so our final question that we're going to be sampling together is about ending time. Our question says Jen started her homework at 3:45. So she started her homework at 3:45. She worked for 2 hours and 37 minutes. What time did she finish? So we don't know the ending time. We do know the starting time, 3:45. And we do know the elapsed time. Two hours, 37 minutes. Okay, so now we just draw how many mountains? 2 mountains. So 3:45, then you go to 4:45. Then you go to 5:45. Okay, so now we need to do 37 minutes. So I'm going to make some 10-minute hills. Okay, I was at 5:45. Let's get to 5:55. Do another 10 minutes. Now this takes me over that 12 as well at the top of the clock. So if I added 5 minutes, it would take me to 6 o'clock. 5 more, it'd take me to 6:05. 10 more minutes, because we need 37 minutes. So it was 6:05, now it's going to be 6:15. And then I'll do a 5 so I can get to 35. And that gets me to 6:20. So far I've done 35 minutes. I need 37 minutes. So 2 little rocks, 6:21, 6:22. Okay, so that is my ending time. So I'm going to erase that and then write that in the end. So 6:22. That's when she finished her work, was at 6:22. Okay, again, now this is probably a brand new concept for a lot of you. This strategy might be a brand new concept for all of you. So definitely take your time and rewind this video as many times as you need to fully understand this concept. And when you feel ready, go ahead and show me what you know. Okay, number 1, and you can see by the color coding what you're going to be trying to find. So that will help you. So go ahead on your next paper, take your time with this, okay? There's no need to rush. Pause this video, solve this problem, and then write your answer down for the survey at the end. Okay, number 2, go ahead, look at the color coding, read the story, think about it, use your worksheet, and solve this problem. Write down your answer for the survey at the end. And then finally, number 3. This is your last one. Go ahead, take your time, do your best, use your worksheet, press pause and press play when you're ready. Okay, so that's it. That's all for video number 7. Don't forget to make sure you fill out your survey with your answers from your Show What You Know questions. And then you do have a study island lesson to complete by Friday. And make sure you mark all of these off on your checklist. And please remember that it's always okay not to know and not to understand this and to struggle a little bit. That's very normal, especially when you're learning something new. But it's not okay to not try. So don't quit, don't give up. Just keep trying, review this video as much as you need, and then reach out to me or Mrs. Crawford if you need any help at all. Okay? Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.